Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World review. Today we're taking a look at the new Primal Attack Soundstrike Cryolophosaurus. This was the last figure I needed in Primal Attack, and let me tell you, this was the single hardest figure for me to track down in the entire Primal Attack series. Yes, even harder than the Scutosaurus, Postosuchus, and Brown Musaurus. For some reason, this figure eluded me for months on end. I've been hitting multiple Walmarts and Targets almost every day for a few months straight with no luck. Had one on pre-order from Amazon since the end of April. The date got pushed back a couple times. And I even had one pre-order on some random website I found, Movies Unlimited. And just no luck with this figure. So today I went into a Walmart and there was 3 of them sitting on the shelves. And I was so happy to finally find this figure. Because last night I was just checking around on Amazon and some third-party sellers had this figure for like just under $30. And I was about to order one, and I told myself if the hunt came up empty today, I just suck it up and pay the scalper prices. Thankfully, that did not happen, so my streak of not paying above retail continues. And I'll also leave a link to Amazon down below in the description. Right now, it's just third-party prices, but my pre-order was supposed to ship June 19th, so maybe they'll get some in stock, and some of you can snag it for retail. So let's go over the package really quick. This will be the last time we'll be seeing the Primal Attack style packaging. We're right on the cusp of rolling into Dino Escape. So we've all seen this before. Jurassic World logo, Camp Cretaceous, and Primal Attack logo on this side of the box. Toro the Carnotaur, some of the kids. You've got Camp Cretaceous in the background. Netflix logo. Turn the box around. Get a nice picture of the Soundstrike action feature on this Cryolophosaurus. And then down here in the corner are the other 3 figures available in this wave. The green Sinoceratops. And I think that's Limbo. I always mess up those baryonyx. So enough about the packaging. Let's crack this figure open and take a closer look. So let's start with a nice 360-degree view of this new Cryolophosaurus. This figure is a straight-up repaint of the original Cryo that came out at the very beginning of Primal Attack, so it's kind of fitting that this repainted Cryo closes out that series. And I have to say, I like the repainted version a lot better than the original. Just really love the color scheme on this figure. The body looks almost black, but it's actually a very deep navy blue color. The signature crest is cast in a bright orange plastic. You have a little bit of orange and red paint coloration along the body and a splash of white. And I really love how all the colors contrast. And I've been a big fan of the Cryo mode since the first one came out, and this is definitely a worthy repaint. So let's just do a couple quick measurements. This figure is 13 inches long from the tip of the snout to the tip of the tail, and about 5¼ inches tall to the top of the crest. So Cryolophosaurus in real life was just over 21 feet long, so that put this figure in that 120 scale range. So let's zoom in and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure. Now, this does not look like a real Cryolophosaurus. The real animal will be a lot leaner and definitely did not have this weird sail thing going on with the neck. But I do appreciate some of the artistic liberties that these sculptors take with this line, and I do really dig that little touch right there. As you can see, the main body is cast in this really dark navy blue. The eye is painted in green with a black pupil. You can see my eye is here. Misprinted is definitely not the worst case I've seen of a misprinted eye. I've seen some with the eye printed down here, so I can live with that. You can see the signature crest has some really nice detailing on there. You get some nice fine lines and texturing. It's cast in an orange plastic. The teeth are nicely painted in an off-white color. You get some large scales lining the lips. You get some nice scale detail all over the face. The bottom jaw is cast in white, and opening the mouth up reveals a nicely textured tongue. Has a little bit of a gloss coat on there to give it that wet look. And then going down to the neck, you can see that really, creative looking sail on there. And then on the top of the neck, you can see there's some nice scale detail between the frill. And then going down to the rest of the body, you can see that bright orange and red paint mixing in. You still got a little bit of that weird sail thing going on to just about the hip region. You have this nice splatter of white, which is a really cool touch. It breaks up all that navy blue. And then going down to the arms, you can see the hand claws aren't painted, which is pretty typical for most figures in this line. You got a little bit of white on the bottom of the throat, and the underside of the belly is also painted in white paint. And since we got the figure turned over, here is the scan code for those of you who want to scan it into the fax app. And then going down to the hind legs. Hind legs are nicely sculpted, some nice folds and wrinkles and muscle detail. Going down to the front feet, the hind feet. You can see the toe claws aren't painted in, which really isn't a big deal for this figure since the base plastic is so dark. You probably really wouldn't notice if the claws were painted a dark gray or a black color. This Mattel lately seems to be hit or miss of what dinosaurs they want to paint the hind claws on, and then going down to the tail, you get some large scales and folds and wrinkles going all the way down to the tip of the tail. So all in all, a really nice detail sculpt for a Jurassic World figure. Articulation wise, the mouth can open up that far and close completely flush. Going down to the forelimbs, they can swing out and they can rotate 360 degrees. The hind legs can move backwards and forwards. There's a little locking point to keep the legs in their neutral position, and you also have a little bit of a hip pivot for stability, and the rest of the articulation is tied to its action feature. And to activate the action feature, let's get his mouth open, because it would make much more sense if we heard the roars coming with the mouth open. All you need to do is just grab the tail, and you can raise the head up and down. These are the exact same sounds that we heard on the first release Cryolophosaurus. The action feature is pretty simple. It's very unintrusive. Unlike the action features coming out on the Soundstrike Dinoscape figures, I am not a fan of that new slider button that's on the back and sides of these figures. I just think it makes the figures look absolutely hideous, and I do understand that these figures are meant for kids, but as a collector, that doesn't mean I have to like it. Which will unfortunately probably stop me from getting some of the figures, because like I said, I just don't like how that button's going to look on those newer figures. Definitely getting the Tyrannosaurus because it's a new species, but man, oof, that button on the side, ouch. Moving on to comparison, here it is with Dennis Nedry, and next up, here it is with the original Cryolophosaurus. Like I say, I love both figures, but I love the repaint better than the original color scheme. And it's nice to have both of them. It looks like a male and female pair. And next up, here it is with the Attack Pack Troodon. And next, here it is with the Savage Strike Velociraptor. And next up, here it is with its wave mate, the green Sinoceratops. And, weird thing I've noticed at Walmart over the last month or so, I've seen probably 30 of these green Sinoceratops. It seems like Walmart is getting full cases of just a single figure. I've seen entire pegs of the striped raptor and the red and green raptor, and I've seen a ton of the Sinoceratops and Limbo, the Baryonyx. And then today I stumbled upon 3 of these. So maybe Walmart is just getting full cases of a single figure, which is actually kind of cool, kind of flood the market and deflate these scalper prices. And lastly, here it is with the new Dinoscape T-Rex, and I'm sure this isn't the last time we're going to see this Cryolophosaurus mold. Maybe we'll see it appear again as a repaint in Dinoscape, and if it does, I hope it comes with capture gear. So, final thoughts on this new Cryolophosaurus. I like the repaint colors much better than I do on the original. Just love that dark navy blue, orange, and white, how it all contrast together. I think it's really appealing to the eye. Plus, I'm extremely excited I was able to finally track this figure down after months of searching, and I hope for everyone else that is looking for this figure that you have an easier time than I did. So definitely hit those Walmarts. It looks like they're stocking them pretty regularly right now, and I'll also leave that link to Amazon down in the description. Hopefully they get some more in for retail price. You don't have to pay that double retail scalper prices like I almost did. So that would do it for the review. I'm still waiting on the GR Toys Carcharodontosaurus. And speaking of that dinosaur, hopefully in the next week or two, my pre-order for the Dinoscape Carcharodontosaurus ships. So be on the lookout for those reviews. And as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously and is greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.